Another soldier of the invading Russian army has surrendered to a Ukrainian drone and taken prisoner. In the village of Malaya Tokmachka in Zaporizhzhia region, 2 Russian soldiers in a trench were targeted by a Ukrainian drone. Although one of the soldiers tried to resist by firing at the drone, the other immediately revealed his intention to surrender. Taking this into account, the drone guided him toward the position of Ukrainian soldiers. The Russian soldier, traveling a long distance along the railway line, threw away his weapons and armor and reached the position of the Ukrainian fighters.
When Russian occupiers on the front line see a drone hovering above them, they realize it might be the last thing they see in their lives. However, drones are now offering Russian soldiers something entirely different, a way out, as the Sunday Times reports. In particular, in June, an interesting incident occurred on the front lines. 2 Russian captors, trapped by a drone and a ground robot, wrote the words, "We want to surrender," on a piece of cardboard. Instead of opening fire, the drone tilted and pointed the men in the direction they should go. They followed it past the destroyed terrain to Ukrainian positions, where the Ukrainians ordered them to lie face down and then took them prisoner. The robots essentially did the job that infantry would have done. "The main thing is that we didn't suffer any losses," said 35-year-old Vladika, a member of the 3rd Assault Brigade's drone team who carried out the robotic assault near the northern city of Kharkiv and asked to be identified only by his call sign. In another incident, a drone directed a wounded Russian soldier toward Ukrainian positions after he raised his hands. In yet another instance, a drone dropped a capsule containing a note to a Russian soldier. "If you want to live, follow the bird across the field." The soldier followed the instructions and reached Ukrainian positions. At the same time, in some places, Ukrainian troops equipped drones with loudspeakers to broadcast calls for surrender. In particular, in 2022, in the Kherson region, dozens of Russians raised their hands, awaiting instructions. A similar drone attack occurred in the Donetsk region in 2023, when an occupier raised his hands while a drone from Ukraine's 54th Mechanized Brigade hovered above him. Drones have transformed the war in Ukraine, dominating the battlefield with their relentless and terrifying aerial presence. Now, through their use to seize territory and even capture, they also offer an intriguing glimpse into the future of warfare. The Sunday Times analyzes. In turn, former British Army Commander Richard Barons noted that increasingly autonomous capabilities are changing the options available during combat operations. He predicts that remotely controlled air and ground vehicles will soon swarm together on the battlefield to play a more prominent role in combat operations, as well as provide an opportunity for surrender. In his opinion, this process will develop in the direction of creating flying or ground vehicles that can transport prisoners from the front lines. You surrender to the drone and it will take you, Barons added. The publication concluded that for Ukrainian commanders, such tactics allow them to avoid exposing their soldiers to enemy traps or ambushes. This allows them to control the process remotely, verify the authenticity of the surrender, and protect their own troops, the publication noted.
Ukrainian troops have destroyed a group of Russian soldiers who briefly raised the Russian flag in Vovchansk city in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region. Video footage circulated in social media shows the strike on the Russian troops. The attack came after Russian propagandists spread video in social media yesterday, showing them raising the Russian flag on one of the buildings in the Rubazhansky residential area, which lies within the area of responsibility of the 57th Separate Motorized Infantry Brigade. Then they gathered in a nearby building to hide. The video was used as a propaganda to claim Russian army's success in the area. There is no Russian flag in Vovchansk anymore. Ukrainian military officials have warned that the Russian command sends its soldiers on pointless missions to raise a Russian flag because for them Putin's war propaganda matters more than the lives of soldiers. It should be noted that this was not the first incident of Ukrainian troops dismounting a Russian flag in Ukraine's territory. Last week, Ukrainian troops blew to the air a Russian flag on the entrance sign to embattled Pokrovsk city in eastern Donetsk region. The flag remained in the city merely an hour before being destroyed by Ukrainian forces.